Humans, I'm your herald of the gods. Yeah. Look at it. Yeah. Look at it. Now look at me. And welcome to the Culture Guys channel with your boy Mike, and happy motherfucking New Year's, man. I know I'm a little late to the party, you know what I'm saying? Had to handle, and I'm still handling some personal business behind the scenes, but neither here nor there. Happy New Year to everybody. Welcome to 2025. If you're finding this channel for the first time, welcome. Everyone is welcome here on the Culture Guys channel. Lots of new things coming this year. I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? I am hopeful, and you know, I'm working, man. I'm working, grinding behind the scenes, putting my all into this, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully this year is a bigger year for me. I started late last year, you know what I'm saying? So I'm anticipating this year being bigger this, you know what I'm saying? More subs, more interactions, more engagements and things like that with y'all, more videos for show, for damn show. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, all I can do is put the work in and we'll see how it goes. Creature Commandos, episode number 6. This episode was mostly about Dr. Phosphorus and his backstory. And looks like they're only giving us pieces of the backstory for real. They start out showing him, basically, I think they're not clear on exactly what's going on with him. It looks like he is a scientist who was doing something, I guess the mob or somebody had him under their thumb, you know what I'm saying, and was forcing him to do some shit. He leaked some information that he wasn't supposed to or something. They're not very clear on it. But anyway, he pays the price for it with his life. They lock him in a chamber. He's a nuclear physicist and shit like that, and he's working on. He's a researcher, basically a scientist who is using nuclear fission or nuclear fusion to I guess help heal people, you know what I'm saying? Maybe using like radioactive materials and nuclear materials to help, solve the cancer and shit like that. Anyway, he pays the price for it in the end. They shove him into his little chamber and he gets his powers. It's like a nuclear reactor. He gains his powers and or abilities, but it was supposed to kill him. You know what I'm saying? And he accidentally got these powers where he's on fire all the time on this radioactive fire. And all his flesh and everything is gone. He's just a skeleton. And actually his power is kind of dope. He kind of reminds me of the Human Torch, but just nuclear. You know what I'm saying? And then he goes on a killing spree and he basically takes out everybody in the mob that he was working for. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, all the henchmen, the mob boss himself, you know what I'm saying? And once he takes him out, he takes over the mob. And he starts running shit basically, and but he ends up getting caught, and that's how he gets into the Amanda Waller finds him, and he becomes one of the Creature Commandos. And at the same time, the bride and Nina, Miss Mermaid, they're in a whorehouse basically, and actually technically, if it was in America, it would technically be the Bunny Ranch. It's technically what it is, you know what I'm saying? But since I think they're in like the UK or something. So it's not the Bunny Ranch for real. And here in Las Vegas, it would be the Bunny Ranch, but not Las Vegas, Nevada. But anyway, and then some shit goes down in the whorehouse basically. And but they all end up, the Weasel, they all end up meeting up to go take out their original mission, which is to take out the princess. But Rick Flag is still basically recovering. He's on an ICU basically, you know what I'm saying? And they're hoping that he comes back too. And Amanda's watching over his body to make sure, nothing happens to him and to extract whatever information he knows when he wakes up. That's the gist of it. But fuck all that. Fuck all the bullshit. The main part of this show that everyone's talking about is the Batman. Yes, Batman finally makes an appearance, and not a flashback, not I think he does. No, he does pop up in a flashback, but the flashback is relevant to the story because it actually happened. So this wasn't like a vision or somebody saw some. Batman shows up for like 2 seconds, and James Gunn knows what he's doing. He's been going, man. I told you, man, he has been active out in these streets, man. He's been on like interview after interview every week. He's popping up on a new podcast, or he's on a YouTube channel and he's being interviewed, and he ain't giving it up like that for real. You know what I'm saying? Like we want him to give it up, but he does give us little like breadcrumbs. And so they asked him, is that Batman that appears in this episode, who is that? And all he says is, it's the DCU Batman. That's all he says, you know what I'm saying? But we can speculate, and everyone is assuming that this Batman is going to be Robert Pattinson's Batman, the Batman of the last movie and the series that's moving along right now, that they allegedly don't have a script to just yet, or the script isn't finished, whatever the fuck that means. I honestly, you know what I'm saying? Let me not do that, bro. Let me not throw shade at James. I do believe that the script for Batman 2 just isn't finished yet. But the fact that Batman Brave and the Bold is in the works, but they've put a halt to that too. They put that on ice too right now. Says a lot that the DC universe just doesn't seem like it's very organized. It just seems like whenever they have a good script for a good story about one of the characters, James is going to green light it and it's just going to move forward. You know what I'm saying? But again, you can't keep saying shit's going to be canon. What I would prefer him to say is look, there is no canon to this shit. Every movie, show, cartoon series, whatever is going to be its own thing, and we'll figure it out as we go. That's what I prefer him to say. But we can only speculate, and we can only just watch as this all unfolds. Again, this is an exciting time for me because we have never been this close to, watching a universe unfold before our eyes with the person who's driving the boat, who's steering this shit, who is coming out and giving us little details, is not afraid to talk to us along the way. You know what I'm saying? We didn't really get much of that with the MCU for real over the last, 15, 20 years. But we're getting that with the new DC, and I love it, man. Based on what they're doing with the comics, and now with the success of the Penguin, the success of the Batman, and the excitement around the Superman trailer that just dropped, and Harley. We'll only get into the Harley Quinn comic thing. I already covered that in another video. But all the other shit that's going on right now, man, I love what DC's doing. But yeah, the Batman popped up in this episode for like 2 seconds. On a rooftop. It was a silhouette. You couldn't even see all you could see was like the silhouette of him. You didn't see any details or nothing like that. No face, no nothing. And they did that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? They want us to keep guessing and keep us talking about it, which I don't mind at all, because Batman is one of my favorite superheroes of all time, as you can see in my background. Yeah, look at it. No, look at me. But I'm hopeful that we get to see more cameos and Easter eggs in the next couple of episodes before the end of the season. Who knows? But yeah, man, that's what I got right now. I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? And I got some more DC news coming soon. Yep. So that's all I got right now, man. I'll see y'all in the next video. You better pull up on me in the new year, 2025. Don't do it for me. Do it for the gods.